You finish lunch, and 30 minutes later, it happens again. Your energy collapses. Your eyes get heavy. Your brain slows down. Many adults over 50 assume this afternoon crash is just aging. But in most cases, it is actually a predictable blood sugar reaction happening inside your body. And once you understand what is causing it, you can stop the crash before it happens. You are not alone in this, and this video is absolutely about you. Take Margaret, for example. She is 62 years old, lives in suburban Florida, and has been managing pre-diabetes with metformin for the past 2 years. Every afternoon after lunch, Margaret would hit a wall so hard she started setting an alarm to nap before her 3 o'clock errands. She assumed it was her age, her medication, or just the Florida heat. But when Margaret began addressing the blood sugar roller coaster we are going to discuss today, her afternoon energy steadied out in a way she had not felt in years. Her morning readings improved, and the nap alarm went quiet. Small change, big difference. Let us begin by understanding why this pattern becomes so much more pronounced after 60. Because if you are wondering why this was not such a problem in your 40s or even your early 50s, there are very specific reasons, and they all come back to changes in the way your body handles the fuel you give it. After 60, the body's metabolic machinery operates differently than it did in younger years. Insulin sensitivity, the ability of your cells to respond efficiently to the hormone that manages blood sugar, tends to decline. The pancreas, which produces insulin, may not release it as quickly or as precisely following a meal as it once did. And the liver, which plays a central role in glucose regulation, becomes more active in ways that can make blood sugar harder to control. These are gradual changes. They do not happen overnight. But by the time most adults reach their 60s, the cumulative effect is a blood sugar regulation system that is significantly less precise, less responsive, and less forgiving of the kinds of meals that never caused a problem before. Many adults tell me they feel more in control when they can see the pattern written out clearly. So I created a simple, one-page protocol you can print and follow quietly at home. Add to that the natural circadian dip that occurs in the early afternoon, a biological rhythm that exists in humans of all ages but is felt more intensely as we get older, and the post-lunch window becomes the most metabolically vulnerable part of the day. If you are also dealing with low energy in the mornings, occasional brain fog, a little stubborn belly weight that was not there 10 years ago, or sleep that does not feel as restorative as it should, these are all part of the same picture. The blood sugar roller coaster does not just affect your afternoons. It quietly shapes how you feel from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. So what exactly is happening inside your body when that post-lunch crash arrives? Let us walk through it simply and clearly. When you eat lunch, your digestive system breaks the carbohydrates in that meal down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream. Your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas detects the rise and releases insulin to move that glucose out of the blood and into your cells where it can be used for energy. In a younger, more metabolically flexible body, this process is smooth and controlled. Blood sugar rises moderately, insulin handles it efficiently, and levels return to a comfortable baseline within a reasonable window. Energy stays relatively stable. The afternoon proceeds without drama. But in a 60-year-old body dealing with reduced insulin sensitivity, this sequence often goes differently. The blood sugar rise after lunch is steeper and higher than it should be. The pancreas, sensing that insulin is not working as efficiently as it used to, releases more of it to compensate. That larger insulin response then drives blood sugar downward, sometimes further and faster than is comfortable. Picture a roller coaster. The car climbs steeply after the meal, then it drops sharply on the other side. And it is that drop, that overcorrection, that produces the wave of fatigue, the heavy eyelids, the mental fog, the sudden loss of motivation that arrives like clockwork in the early afternoon. This pattern is sometimes called reactive hypoglycemia, and it is far more common in adults over 60 than most people realize. The body is not broken. It is simply riding a roller coaster when it should be traveling on a smooth and level road. The type of lunch matters enormously here. A meal that is high in refined carbohydrates and low in protein, a sandwich on white bread, a bowl of pasta, A wrap with very little accompanying protein, rice with a light topping, acts like rocket fuel for that roller coaster. It creates a rapid and steep blood sugar climb, which is followed by the equally steep and uncomfortable drop. The crash is not a coincidence. It is a predictable consequence of the fuel and the biology combined. So what does a smoother road look like? Let us talk about the practical foundations that make the biggest difference. The first and most impactful change you can make is to rebuild lunch around protein. Protein slows the digestion of every other component of the meal. It blunts the height and speed of the blood sugar rise. It triggers a sense of fullness and satisfaction that lasts for hours. And unlike refined carbohydrates, protein produces virtually no glucose response on its own. A lunch that leads with chicken, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or legumes, and includes plenty of non-starchy vegetables alongside a modest portion of complex carbohydrates, behaves very differently in the body than a carbohydrate-heavy meal eaten with minimal protein. Blood sugar rises gently. Insulin responds proportionately. The drop, when it comes, is shallow and gradual rather than steep and sudden. And the roller coaster becomes a gentle slope. Fiber works alongside protein as a powerful buffer. Vegetables, legumes, nuts, and seeds all contribute fiber that slows glucose absorption in a direct and measurable way. Building these into every meal, especially lunch, is one of the simplest and most effective dietary changes for smoothing out the afternoon blood sugar pattern. Healthy fat plays a role as well. Avocado, olive oil, nuts, eggs, and fatty fish all slow gastric emptying, meaning food moves through the digestive system more gradually. Glucose enters the bloodstream more steadily, and the roller coaster remains calmer. The second foundation is movement after lunch. A gentle 10 to 15-minute walk, taken within 30 to 60 minutes of finishing your midday meal, activates your muscle tissue in a way that allows it to absorb glucose from the bloodstream directly, through a pathway that does not require insulin. This natural glucose clearance mechanism reduces the height of the post-meal blood sugar spike and softens the subsequent drop. Many adults who add this single habit report a noticeable improvement in afternoon energy within days of starting. Sleep and stress matter as well. Cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, directly raises blood sugar. When stress is chronically elevated, the roller coaster starts each day already tilted. Protecting sleep quality and finding simple, consistent ways to lower your daily stress load, whether through gentle movement, time outdoors, breathing practices, or quiet time in the evening, supports the hormonal environment that steadier blood sugar requires. Now let us talk about what your body may genuinely be missing at the nutritional level. Because lifestyle changes, as powerful as they are, work best when the cellular machinery supporting blood sugar regulation is properly equipped. After 60, the body becomes less efficient at absorbing and utilizing several key nutrients that play a direct role in how glucose is processed after every meal. Many adults are running low on these without knowing it, and the gap between what they get through food and what their body actually needs quietly undermines everything else they are trying to do. Chromium is a trace mineral that supports the action of insulin at the receptor level. It helps glucose enter the cells more efficiently, reducing the severity of post-meal blood sugar swings. Many adults over 60 are not getting sufficient chromium through their diet. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes, including those that govern insulin signaling and glucose metabolism. Low magnesium quietly worsens insulin resistance and disrupts sleep quality at the same time, compounding the afternoon crash from two directions simultaneously. Berberine is a plant-based compound with decades of research supporting its role in healthy glucose metabolism. Studies suggest it helps the body process carbohydrates more smoothly, which translates to a gentler post-meal energy curve rather than the steep spike and crash. Alpha-lipoic acid supports the mitochondria in converting glucose into usable cellular energy more efficiently. B vitamins, particularly B6, B12, and thiamine, are essential cofactors in the metabolic pathways that process every meal you eat. and vitamin D supports insulin sensitivity in ways that affect blood sugar regulation across the entire day. Other nutrients like gymnema and eleuthero can further aid glucose uptake and adaptation, enhancing how your body responds to the post-meal blood sugar roller coaster and supporting steadier energy through the afternoon hours. Because obtaining meaningful amounts of all of these nutrients through food alone becomes genuinely difficult after 60, many adults find that a well-formulated daily supplement that brings these key nutrients together in one comprehensive approach provides the reliable nutritional foundation their lifestyle changes need to work most effectively. For those in similar situations, if you would like to explore what that kind of support looks like and what others have found helpful, there is a resource in the description below where you can learn more at your own pace. Before we close, the important reminder: this video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any health condition. Please speak with your healthcare professional before making changes to your diet, routine, or supplementation, particularly if you are managing a health condition or taking medications related to blood sugar. Here is what I want you to take away from today. The afternoon crash is not simply the price of getting older. It is not something you have to accept and schedule your life around. It is a signal, a specific, readable signal from a body that is riding a blood sugar roller coaster it does not have to ride. The roller coaster responds to what you eat, to how you move after meals, to how well you sleep and how effectively you manage daily stress, and to whether your cells have the nutritional tools they need to process glucose smoothly and steadily after every meal. None of the changes we discussed today are dramatic or difficult. They are small, practical adjustments that your body can feel almost immediately when you begin making them consistently. Start with lunch tomorrow. Look at what is on your plate and ask one question: where is the protein? Add it. Walk for 10 minutes afterward, and pay attention to how your afternoon feels. Margaret did it, and thousands of adults in their 60s and 70s are doing it every day, quietly and consistently reclaiming the afternoon energy they thought was simply gone. It is not gone. It is waiting for the right conditions. You can create those conditions, starting today. Thank you for being here with Truewell Prime. Take good care of yourself this afternoon.